As we all know, that's one of the effects that tahini has on beer.
And on hummus.
Yeah, there's almost no alcohol content in hummus, and you can thank tahini for that. Coming to you somewhat live from the Beer to Whiskey Studios, high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in magnificent downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John and Five, named for my good buddy here, Big John Richards. And in these episodes, he picks a beer from one of Barley's 72 or so taps, or one of their 50, 60 bottles and cans, and we sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. John gives us a little background on the brewery. Sometimes we even find out a little bit about brewing history, and honestly, we drink a little beer.
Yeah.
John, what are we doing?
Well, let's jump right in, because this is a fun beer for me. I don't think we've done a Rogue beer since
I don't think we
started
have.
this.
I don't think we have either.
And Rogue is one of my favorite breweries in the country, in the world. I mean, these guys have been making good beer for 30 years, more than 30 years, and they're an icon. They're an institution. I brought my phone out for this one because I like their slogan so much. I'm going to read it.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's
I'm on
it's
Twitter.
more lengthy than most. So on their website, our mantra: dare, risk, dream. Dare more than others think is wise. Risk more than others think is safe. Dream more than others think is practical.
You know, at this point I see Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Going at the windmill. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, seriously.
Dream the impossible dream.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
No, that's what they did. They helped make beer possible. And we owe them a debt.
Cause.
I mean, we owe them a big debt.
Yes.
To be able to do something like this, it came from people doing this.
Yes.
Harumph.
Harumph.
It's
Yes.
the so damn lucky mantra right in front of you.
Yep.
You know? So we're drinking their Santa's Private Reserve, which, as I said earlier, is my other favorite.
I don't know how
Christmas
they
beer.
got their hands on this. I
Right.
mean, really.
No, they make it for Santa. That's
they do?
why I'm going to read you this story.
Oh.
So they partnered with Honey Mamas. Honey Mamas is a confectionery up in Oregon, and they're approaching like See's Candy level of recognition, and they do sweet treats that are good for you.
It's
or
sweet.
At least better for you.
They're sweet and treats.
Right.
And
So they wrote us a little note about how they made this happen.
this is a little love letter, right?
Santa has always been convinced that all great confections come from the North Pole. So we reached out to our friends at Honey Mamas to help show him otherwise. The Honey Mamas crew whipped up some of their favorite tasty treats, and we sent them up to Santa in a care package. It's safe to say he feels a bit differently now. For mere minutes after receiving the delivery, Santa was on the phone with us, gushing about the delicious goodies, begging us to recreate them in his annual private reserve. Per his request, we teamed up with Honey Mamas to create this tahini, tangerine, and chocolate flavored stout. Santa's sure to love it, and so are we.
Well, of course. If Santa rubber stamps it, how could we?
Right.
How can we say no?
So these guys do. It's a yearly release, but every year they brew Santa's Private Reserve and let us have some of it. And it's different every year. So this year's a collaboration with Honey Mamas.
Those of us in steerage
You're right.
get to have a little bit if we find it.
If we can get a hold of some. If you know somebody.
You know, it's a shame. I wish it was in a bottle, because then we could have put Buddy to work.
I know.
Here.
I was thinking about mentioning that we had sort of hamstrung Buddy on being able to help us today.
Yeah, Buddy hasn't gotten a whole lot of action in we're on probably our 8th or 9th shoot today, and he hasn't gotten to participate
I
much.
must judge the amount of beer that was in this can.
Don't short me. Don't. Oh, it happens all the time. John's kind of a big, robust guy, and he thinks he needs a little more than I do, and quite frankly, he probably does.
There, now it's been on our coasters.
Anything else we need to say about this at this point, or can we just go ahead and drink
Just go ahead
some?
and sip it now. Now that we've read what their process of dealing with Santa.
Yeah, damn old fat man. Texas Miss Lily. I'm sorry. Hey.
I'm going to be very busy on Christmas Eve.
I forgot. We got Father Christmas right here.
That's a wonderfully spicy nose.
My smeller isn't good enough, but holy crap.
I haven't even gotten that
Does
far
it
yet.
taste good?
It always does. I just smell that cardamom.
Wow. Big chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's delicious. Yeah, it's like a fudgy kind of chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, they mentioned
Like fudge.
Yeah.
It's like fudge.
like truffle fudge.
I don't know what truffle fudge is. I grew up on the other side of the tracks. We didn't have truffles. We had to make our own water. We slapped H2O and oxygen together and made our own water.
Not the woods, son. Find 2 H's and an O.
And yeah, so truffles weren't something that
No, me neither.
that incidentally, I want to give credit where credit's due. That I think was a George Carlin joke, but the H2O thing. But I think it's brilliant. And I've remembered it all these years.
Somehow.
Yeah.
That's really tasty. Yeah, you're right. Big chocolate up front, and then you get some of that sort of, again, maybe candied orange peel or something in there. You really get the ping of that. It's cardamom. Cardamom
I'm
always
not sure what cardamom tastes
Cardamom
like.
always-
Maybe that's why I'm not.
Cardamom always is close to it. It feels like black pepper to me. Like they're similar things.
The very first sip I had of this, I got a little bit of that on the outside of my tongue, on the sides, not in the main.
I have found that if I take
that
the
sound
top
like I
off
know what
of
I'm talking
cardamom
about?
and the top off of black pepper, I have to smell them both right next to each other to tell the difference.
Now that I've had a couple of sips, I'm not getting that anymore. But I
There's-
got it in the very first.
There's a proper professional taster out there who's thrown something at his television screen just because I said that. What did it say? It was cardamom, tangerine, tahini.
I don't know what a tahini is.
Tahini, I don't know what it is, but it's the stuff, it goes into hummus. I think it's a sesame seed extraction, now that I'm thinking about it. You use tahini to make hummus. You blend your chickpeas with your...
Doesn't
with
sound like
tahini.
anything I want to eat or drink.
It's not something you want to drink by itself, probably. I think it doesn't matter. I think it's a sesame seed extraction. There's probably a foodie out there who's throwing something at their TV now, too, because I've said that.
Well, anybody who knows exactly what he's talking about ought to just turn this off right now because tahini.
Well, didn't say I taste tahini. I read it off the can.
Yeah, but they must think there's tahini in there.
I'm sure is tahini in here.
I don't want tahini. I am a tahini objector.
Abstainer.
Yes, I am. I just am not gonna deal with tahini.
Well, it made your beer delicious.
Well, thrown in with all this other stuff, obviously it works. But I
that's
think
really
they
fun.
probably could have left it out and would have still been as good.
That's really fun. Whatever they did it right. What else does it say on here? IBUs. Yep. Oh, it's 6.5%.
It's got a little zing.
I thought it was going to be bigger than that. The flavor profile, I thought it was going to be pushing 8 or something like that. So it'll help you.
The tahini dampens down the ABV in it. As we all know, that's one of the effects that tahini has on beer.
And on hummus.
There's almost no alcohol content in hummus, and you can thank tahini for that. For the love of God.
There's your tahini lesson for that.
That's it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Can you tell we've done about 10 of these today?
That's what good beer can do for you.
That's right. Make you sound silly.
Yep. Well, on that note.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think we've waxed
exhausted
enough.
We've exhausted this tahini subject. I don't want to hear anything more about tahini the rest of the day.
For the rest of the day.
No more about tahini.
You got it. Tahini.
Tahini. So damn lucky. See you next time.